Welcome to AI in 10. I'm Chuck Goetschel, and every day I break down the biggest AI story in just 10 minutes. What it is, why it matters, and how you can actually use it. You know that moment when you're watching your Roomba bang into the same chair leg for the 5th time and you think, maybe AI isn't as smart as everyone claims? Well, that's about to change in a big way. This week, one of AI's biggest pioneers just raised $1 billion to solve that exact problem. And when I say biggest pioneer, I mean the person whose work literally made your phone's camera able to recognize faces and your car's backup camera know where the curb is. Now she's building AI that can actually understand the physical world around us, but not just bump into it. Let me paint you a picture of what just happened, and why it's going to change how you live and work sooner than you think. On February 19th, a company called World Labs announced they'd raised $1 billion. Not million, billion, with a B. Now, billion-dollar funding rounds happen pretty regularly these days, so you might wonder what makes this one special. It's who's behind it and what they're building. The founder is Fei-Fei. You probably haven't heard her name, but you use her work every single day. Back in the late 2000s, she created something called ImageNet. Think of it as the world's largest photo album that taught computers how to see. Before her work, your phone couldn't tell the difference between a dog and a donut. After her work, now it can probably identify your dog's breed better than you can. So when Fei-Fei says she's working on the next big thing, people listen. And apparently, they also write very large checks. Here's what World Labs is building, something called world models. Now I know that sounds like tech jargon, but stay with me because this is actually pretty simple to understand. Remember how I mentioned your Roomba bumping into furniture? That happens because current AI is really good with words and pictures, but terrible with space. It's like having a brilliant friend who can solve crossword puzzles but can't parallel park. Current AI systems, even the super smart ones like ChatGPT, they understand language beautifully, but ask them to figure out how a ball will bounce off a wall or how to stack boxes without them falling over, and they're completely lost. World models change that. They're AI systems designed to understand physics, space, and how things move in the real world. World Labs has already released their first product called Marble. You can literally type in a description or upload a photo, and it creates a three-dimensional world that follows real physics. So you could upload a picture of your living room and ask it to show what would happen if you rearranged the furniture. Or you could create a virtual playground and watch how different materials would behave when you drop them. The AI understands gravity, momentum, cause and effect, all the stuff that makes the physical world work. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about making cool simulations. Let's talk about what this means for your actual life, because when AI finally understands the physical world, everything changes. First, let's talk about robots. I know, we've been promised helpful home robots for decades, but here's why they've never worked well. Previous robots were basically following pre-programmed instructions. It's like giving someone directions to your house by saying, walk forward 50 steps, turn left, walk 30 more steps. Works great until there's a delivery box on your porch that wasn't there yesterday. World models solve this because they help robots actually understand spaces. Instead of following rigid directions, they can think, okay, there's a new obstacle here, but I can see 3 ways around it, and this path gets me to the kitchen without knocking over that plant. So that robot that can actually fold your laundry, load your dishwasher, or prep ingredients for dinner, that's not science fiction anymore. That's probably 3 to 5 years away. And before you start worrying about the cost, remember what happened with flat screen TVs. In 2000, a basic flat screen cost $8,000. By 2010, you could get a better one for $800. Technology gets cheaper fast when it actually works. Let's talk about transportation. Self-driving cars have been almost ready for years now. The problem isn't that they can't see stop signs. They've been able to do that for ages. The problem is they can't predict what that jogger with headphones is about to do, or how that pothole will affect their steering. World models give AI the ability to think ahead in physical space, to understand that when a ball rolls into the street, a kid might be chasing it, to know that when the wind picks up, that plastic bag might blow across their path. It's the difference between following rules and actually understanding the world. Now let's address the elephant in the room: jobs. Yes, when AI can understand and manipulate the physical world, some jobs will change. Warehouse work, some retail stocking, basic manufacturing tasks. These could increasingly be handled by AI-powered robots. But here's what I've learned from building and selling my own AI company. New technology doesn't just eliminate jobs, it transforms them. Think about what happened when computers became common in offices. We didn't end up with massive unemployment. We ended up with new kinds of jobs that didn't exist before. The same thing will happen here. Someone needs to oversee these robots, maintain them, program them for specific tasks, handle the exceptions they can't figure out. And these jobs typically pay better than the ones they replace because they require more skill. The key is getting ahead of this curve instead of being surprised by it, which brings me to what you can actually do about this right now. Here's the thing, I always tell people in my AI hammock community, you don't need to become a programmer to benefit from AI, you just need to start experimenting. And with World Labs, you can actually start today. They've made their Marble tool available for free testing. You can go to their website right now and try it out. Upload a photo of any space, your backyard, your office, even just a picture you found online, and then experiment with asking it to modify that space. Try something simple first. Upload a photo of your living room and ask it to show what it would look like with different furniture arrangements. Or upload a picture of your backyard and ask it to simulate what would happen if you added a deck or a garden bed. The goal isn't to become an expert overnight. It's to start developing what I call AI intuition, a feel for what these tools can and can't do. Because when more powerful versions become available, you'll already understand how to think about using them. While you're experimenting with Marble, I want you to start thinking differently about the spaces around you. Look at your kitchen and think, what tasks here are really about understanding space and physics? Chopping vegetables is partly about understanding how much pressure to apply and what angle to cut. Loading a dishwasher efficiently is about spatial reasoning and understanding how water will flow around different shapes. Start noticing which parts of your work involve physical reasoning. If you're in retail, think about how you decide where to place products for maximum visibility. If you work in an office, notice how you organize your physical workspace for efficiency. These are all skills that world models are trying to replicate, which means they're also skills you can get better at. Here's something specific you can do this weekend. Sign up for World Labs' newsletter and follow Fei-Fei on social media. She regularly shares demos and early access opportunities. Getting familiar with these tools while they're still new gives you a huge advantage. You can also start exploring some of the free 3D design tools that are already available. NVIDIA offers a free version of something called Omniverse that lets you experiment with virtual physics simulations. It's more complex than Marble, but even just playing around with it for an hour will help you understand how AI thinks about physical space. And if you really want to dive deeper, consider getting a simple robotics kit. You can find basic ones for around $200 that connect to your computer. The goal isn't to build the next Terminator, it's to get hands-on experience with how AI controls physical actions. But here's the most important thing you can do. Start talking to people in your industry about this. Ask your colleagues how they think world models might change your field. Start those conversations now while there's still time to plan and adapt rather than just react. Because here's what I know from experience. The people who thrive during technological change aren't necessarily the smartest or the most technical. They're the ones who start early and think creatively about applications. So here's what we're really looking at. World Labs raising $1 billion isn't just another funding announcement. It's a signal that we're moving from AI that lives in our phones and computers to AI that works in the physical world alongside us. This is bigger than chatbots, bigger than image generators, bigger than any AI breakthrough we've seen so far. Because when AI truly understands physical space the way humans do, it stops being a tool we use and starts being a partner we work with. Robots are finally getting smart enough to help rather than just bump into things. And the person who taught computers how to see is now teaching them how to truly understand the world around us. The question isn't whether this will change everything, it's whether you'll be ready when it does. That's today's AI in 10. If you want to go deeper and learn AI with a community of people just like you, join us at aihammock.com. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends.